What's going on YouTube? So today we're going to be showing you how to make a DIY style lawn sprinkler. So this is what we're going to make. It's got water in it still because I used it the other day actually. But I'm going to make this again so I can show you on video on step by step how to make it. You can build this for about 20 bucks, maybe a little bit more than that. But it will help you out in watering your lawn. It is springtime right now, and the best thing to do for your lawn is start watering it ½ inch or twice a week actually, and then about 3 times a week for a ½ inch in the summertime when it's really hot outside. I live in the Midwest area, Kansas City area, so it actually gets really hot in the summertime in my area, not compared to Arizona and places like that, but in Texas. But it does get pretty hot in the summertime, and with this grass that I have, Kelly bluegrass and also tall fescue, it needs the water more and more during the heated times in the summer. But either way, we're gonna make this. I do like the actual sprinklers that are in-ground sprinklers because they actually water more evenly than just one of those sprinklers you can actually buy. So they do water a lot more evenly. And it's just a lot better, more of a nice spread of water. You can do whatever you want, you do you, but I really do enjoy using these type of sprinklers. This is Orbit's Voyager 2, and it sprays up to 52 feet. They also have, Rainbird has a 42 SA, which also does about 50 feet. And then they also have smaller ones that do about 30 feet. But today we're gonna do the actual Orbit Voyager 2 with the actual head. The head is actually 10 bucks. You can buy it at Home Depot, Amazon. I'll link all the products you need in the description below so you can check them out yourself and actually use the links to purchase if you want. And then you can watch the video for step-by-step instructions. But either way, this is actually the finished product. I did about 1.5 to 2 years ago, I did make a sprinkler sled out of PVC. I'll show it to you in just a second here, but I will link that video up here so you can check it out yourself. I got a lot of views on it and a lot of people really enjoyed it, so I decided to make this as well. And I also needed a sprinkler like this so I can move around too. This one that I currently made doesn't have the ability to hook up more than one sprinkler with it. And I did that on purpose, just the fact that I only want one. I don't want to hook up 2 in line. So there's one modification on this that you can do that I'll link that in the description. But instead of like an end cap, you'll use like it's a fitting. That way you can hook up more than one hose to this to feed it, and then a hose to here to feed the next one. So I'll show that to you. So here is the actual sprinkler sled that I made, and these use 360 style sprinkler heads. So this one will actually get my narrow patch of lawn that I have on the side of my house over here, and that way I got just set it for 10-15 minutes, or actually about 20 minutes actually. I don't know why I said 10, but set it for 10 minutes and then move it along, and then set it for 20 minutes again and move it. And that takes like 2 or 3 moves and I'm good to go on there. It gets enough ½ inch of rain or ½ inch of water down and we're good to go. So like I said, I'll link that in the description and also link it up on the top here so you can check that video out yourself. All right, so parts that you're gonna actually need. So you got, this is a 2 foot, 3/8 or 3/4 PVC pipe. You'll need 2 end caps. You'll need an end piece here with a 3/4 thread. And the 3/4 thread will actually thread this on there. So this will actually allow you to thread any 3/4 sprinkler on. The smaller sprinklers are ½ inch, and you can actually get this 3/4 to ½ inch thread as well as if you wanted to. You got a 4-way here, and then you also have, I'm gonna have to cut this off, but because I don't have another one, but you have the hose connector that we have here. So I'm gonna cut this one off here and reuse it for this function, and then order a new one later on down the road. You'll also need PVC pipe cutters. You don't necessarily need these. These make them a lot easier to cut the pipe with. You'll see on my other video that I made with that, I used a hacksaw. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't hard, but a lot of people did recommend PVC cutters. So I went ahead and bought some. They're about 10 to 15 bucks. And then also I bought one stage, single stage, clear medium PVC cement. I bought this because it sets up really quick and I don't have to use primer. It's all in one. So I don't have to use 2 different bottles. And then I just have a little small measuring tape and then a pen, a marker. So I can mark out, I'm gonna cut about 6 inches like I did here, 6 inches each well, this isn't 6 inches, but 6 inches each for the tubes here, and get this started. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to measure 6 inches 3 different times on this, and make a mark so we can cut the 6-inch extensions on them. But so we've got 6, 12, then 18. I do about 3 inches here for the end piece. The reason why I do a smaller piece, you can do a larger piece here if you want, but it really doesn't matter. Just make it more compact. So how these work is basically you ratchet on the line, and you just keep squeezing. It cuts right through it. All right, now we got our pieces here. I actually got 4 6-inch pieces here, so we'll cut this one down in half when we get to it. But either way, you have your 4 6-inch pieces, and it'll be a little longer because we're gonna have to put an extension on this for this part, but no worries. It doesn't have to be rocket science or exact science, even that. But then we just take the single stage. Also, don't get this stuff on your, try not to get this stuff on anything that you like or is important, because it will make a mess. So we're gonna put that in there. That's in there now, so we're good to go there. So we're gonna start with this, and then we'll go from there. So we'll get the ends in and get the caps on. One thing I did take note of, notice how all the markings are on the bottom of this. I did that so it doesn't look busy or anything like that. It looks nice and clean. So now we can take the caps, put them on. And then we can get this on so we can get that straight up and down. Vertical. There we go. So there we go. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and get the sprinkler head. And the sprinkler head just screws on through the threads here. Now, I do recommend putting some pipe thread tape on there, so that way it doesn't leak, but in all reality, if it leaks just a little bit, you're fine. So on this one, there's an arrow where the actual water comes out of, so I can see that it's gonna go that way. It's basically gonna do because it stops over there, so it's basically gonna do a 180-degree angle here. So let's get it hooked up to, actually I'm gonna wait about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's get it hooked up to water and I'll show you what it looks like. Of course, it's gotta start raining. My last video I made on this, a PVC sprinkler, it started raining as well, and then it's starting to rain now on this one. It must be just God knows that I'm watering my lawn and wanting to show this off, so it's gotta rain too. So there you have it. There's the sprinkler itself. As you saw on the actual video, it actually does pretty well on the ground. The only thing I would modify maybe is kind of maybe put this closer to the actual tee here so that it's more even. But other than that, this did make it a little bit longer, but I just did that for the actual video itself. But yours will be shorter, and you can make these pipes a little bit shorter. But remember, this will put out a little pressure, so it will move this around if these are too short. But other than that, this is it. 20 bucks I think I spent on this. All said and done. I mean, I spent a little bit more money on the actual PVC pipe glue, but other than that, just the actual supplies for this wasn't bad at all. So like I said, all the parts will be in the description below for you to check out yourself with current pricing. If this is your first time, consider subscribing. If you're not new here, then welcome back. If you have any comments, questions, or opinions about this, go ahead and put it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. One comment I've got a lot on the other one is it's PVC. If you have it sitting outside, the PVC gets brittle and tend to break, and like from sun, UV light. Probably true. I don't know. Not sure on the science of that, but that the skinny one the long skinny one I've actually used over there. I had that for 2 years almost now, and it's been outside and the summer, the heat of the summer in the Midwest, and as well as the winter of the Midwest, which I get it. Sometimes it's warm outside, but it does get cold in the winter time. So, and it hasn't broke anything on it. And I actually throw that around in the rocks back here and all that. So it actually does stand up pretty well. So take it as with a grain of salt, but I mean, for the actual parts itself, 10 bucks, it'll last you a few years. Other than that, I will see you next time.